Estrada. I'm with Security Bank of Kansas.
Hey, I do a lot of community development, and Michelle is one of our branch managers. So today we're going to be talking about budgeting 101 and kind of all the things that go into creating your budget and staying on course with it. So a budget is a way to balance your income, your expenses, and your financial goals for a specific length of time. So most people usually budget for their year, month, week, even their day or weekend or trip. A lot of people, it's usually recommended to use like their 50-30-20 rule, and 50% of their income is used for expenses such as rent and bills. 30% of that is oftentimes used for fun things such as going out to dinner, buying those pair of shoes that you really wanted, and then 20% is usually put to savings. However, that 30-20 can be decreased or increased. So if you want to put more towards your savings and less towards fun money, that is often very much encouraged depending on what your goals are for the year, the month, or the week. Okay, so your money needs direction. And one of those things is that a budget is basically telling your money where to go. Because if you just kind of go based on what your money's coming in for each paycheck, it's very easy to be like, oh, I have this much money. Let me just go off and buy my friends all dinner or go buy all these things that I really wanted on Amazon Prime Day. And then because with that is you make a plan. So there's some a fun little acronym here that's called SMART, which is a form of goal setting, which is specific, and that is exactly what do you want to buy or what do you want to accomplish with the money you're saving. So that can be maybe you're saving to buy a car, or maybe you're saving to buy a house, or maybe you're just saving to have some rainy day money. It's usually recommended to save 3 to 6 months of your bills for just in case of a rainy day. The next one would be measurable. Make it an exact dollar that you want to save. So whether it's $100, $200, $5,000, $3,000, $20,000, make it an exact amount that you need so that you can have a goal to work towards. Make it attainable. Maybe your big goal is $20,000, but your goal for the month is $200 or $1,000, or maybe it's saving $20 each week putting $20 in your savings account. It's okay to have a big goal, but then make smaller goals that are more attainable and that make you feel good within that large goal. Make it relevant. So relevant is ensuring that the goal that you're working towards means something to you, because if it's just kind of like, whatever, you're not going to really want to work towards it. And it's going to be a lot harder to stick to your plan. And then next up is time. Set a deadline. So like I said, a year, 2 months, 3 months, set a timeline for yourself, something that you know is going to be attainable for yourself and that you're not going to be stressing yourself out over. Do you have something you want to add? Anything with that?
And then for the goals to set, we do have, as a banking, if you do have a bank, feel free to go in and ask them like, hey, do you guys have anything to offer, like a savings account, a holiday account, for example, because those type of things will help you save your money. Yes.
Yeah, during the holidays and overspending, which if you're a crazy Christmas person like me, is very easy to do. All right, so your spending habits. You have to ask yourself those tough questions that nobody wants to hear, which is, why am I spending money on this? Or why do I want this? Or maybe it's, what's the purpose behind this purchase? So maybe you're at, let's say, TJ Maxx, and you saw a really cute, like, Halloween decoration, or maybe a Christmas decoration, and you just wanted for that instant dose of, like, endorphins that are going to make you really happy, just that instant gratification moment. Maybe it's not the right purchase, because maybe you're working towards a specific goal for the end of the year that you want to save for. And maybe you're like, oh, well, it's just $10, but those $10 could put you out of budget from maybe being short $10 on a utility, or $2 or $3 or $5. So you have to ask yourself the tough questions. Nobody wants to ask themselves that, but it's hard. You have to do it. Okay, some common mistakes that people make when like making their budgets or not making their budgets. And it's guessing your monthly costs. That means you don't sit down and you don't grab every bill that you have, and you don't check to see how much your water bill is each month, or an average of what your water bill is, your gas bill, your electric bill, your cable, internet, Netflix, all those streaming services that you get. I know it's really easy to have Netflix and Hulu and Disney and HBO and Paramount. You don't actually watch HBO year round. I experienced that. I got HBO to see if maybe I would watch it, and I realized I don't watch it. I primarily watch Disney and Netflix. Disney Plus and Netflix, that's what I use, and I canceled my HBO account. I did the same thing with YouTube TV. I just didn't have the time to sit down and watch live TV. That wasn't my thing. The only thing I was using it for, time I was using it, was for football, during football season. So football season, it makes sense for me to have it during that time. Otherwise, it doesn't, which I had to ask myself that tough question. So yeah, you have to make sure you are not guessing on how much you're spending. Another common mistake is not tracking your spending. So not keeping track of how much you're spending when you just go out to the grocery store and then think of how much food is going to waste. You have to keep a list of all of that. Or even when you're going out to dinner, keep track of how much you're spending that week to go out to lunch, to grab a coffee. I know it's very easy to run down to the coffee shop and get that coffee and say, oh, it's fine.
Maybe put in a budget.
Yeah, that adds up. Like put
Put
it
in a budget. Maybe,
yeah.
you know, hey, it's the weekend. I have 400 that I can waste for the weekend, or, you know, make it less, whatever the amount is. But I would say put in a budget does work, especially if you do have kids at home, toddlers. So
yep.
I
don't have kids, which is something she can attest. She can attest to the kids side.
I have to do the budget.
Yeah. So. I have a tiny Yorkie. So you have to go based on your gross income, which is how much you have after taxes. Because if you're just going, if you're going off your gross income, aka before they take out your tax and your health insurance and your 401k, that's not going to be monthly bills. So you have to go based off how much you're actually getting into your bank account each month after taxes, health, and 401k have been removed. And forgetting your expenses, aka you're forgetting, oh, this is the month that my Prime renews, or this is the month that my yearly another subscription, monthly subscription or yearly subscription renews. Like, keeping track of that within a budget is so important, because then you're not forgetting your bills. And then not adjusting your budget. So it's okay to go in, if you are setting a new budget each month, so you can say you have your yearly budget, but maybe you have your monthly budget. It's very easy when you break it down to a monthly budget or weekly budget to go in and just kind of be like, life does happen, and there are times where you are going to have to go in and adjust your budget, adjust your means. You could have like maybe car issues that was unexpected, and now you have to account for that. Or maybe there's a baby that you did not plan for, and you have to adjust your budget for that year because now you have a child coming in, and that's going to add a new expense. Or maybe you had to move. So some words of advice, some things to keep in mind is you started for a reason. Don't lose track of that. You decided to make this budget for a reason. You have to focus on the why when you're feeling discouraged. So sometimes I know it's very easy to kind of be like, no, I really wanted to go out and I want to do this with my friends. And I don't know why I'm not doing it, and you suddenly feel really sad because you're not going out, and maybe you didn't buy that spray painted t-shirt from Worlds of Fun and all your friends did, and you really wanted to get that spray painted t-shirt. But just keep in mind, are you really going to use that spray painted t-shirt for any other moment other than, well, you were at Worlds of Fun with your friends? And then you can proceed to use that money for something you're really going to want and actually use in the future. Another thing is be kind to yourself. Give yourself a break. You're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you're going to fall off the bandwagon, and that is A-okay. It's a learning process. You're not going to suddenly be super great at holding a budget. That doesn't happen overnight. It takes process. It takes a lot of mental Olympics almost of like making yourself a lot of self-discipline to make yourself stick with the budget. And another one is just stick with it. The results are going to happen. Like I said, when you have a large budget, like a year-long budget, or goals of what you want to save for, make smaller ones, because it gives you that nice little although you're like, oh yeah, you did it. It doesn't seem like much, but it kind of makes you feel better that you're like, oh, I walked all those steps today. I can sit now. Okay, some templates. Okay, so you can find templates online. There's templates everywhere that you can utilize, and it can be something super simple. You can even keep your budget in a notebook. Like, it doesn't matter. You can use like a sticky note, your phone notes app,
Planner.
Yeah, your planner. There's literally planners now that help you keep a budget. There's so many free things out there that you can utilize to make your budget. And then this is an exercise, but we won't do that. So you can use Excel to budget. So this is my favorite form of budgeting. I love to make an Excel template. You can make one yourself, or there's so many that are available on Excel that are already pre-made for you, or there's YouTube tutorials on how to make your own Excel budget, and they're both in English, Spanish, honestly, probably any language that you want them to be in, they'll be on YouTube on how to make these Excel sheets. There's lots of online forums. There's TikToks on how to make your budget on Excel. If you don't have Excel, there's like Google Sheets, which is awesome, and I personally love it because you can use Google Sheets online and offline. So if you have your budget, and let's say you're in Mexico for the holidays, you're in Mexico for Christmas, but you're trying to stick to a specific budget, and you're like, oh, I'm at my dad's rancho and I have no signal. I don't know what I'm spending. Lie. You can switch your Google Doc, your Google Sheets to be available offline, and you can update it. And as soon as you connect to any form of Wi-Fi or signal, it's going to update the whole thing. Wherever you're logged in for your Google Sheets, it's going to update, and you can keep track of everything on there because it is available offline, and it helps you stick with your budget and stick with your on track. 'Cause I know it's very easy to fall off the bandwagon when you're on vacation. And that's it. Just, are there any questions online, or I can talk for a minute with some accounts to have, and it's savings accounts with high yield offerings are very good, or just a savings account period. You can also set it so that your you can go to your bank, as Michelle said, go into your bank and tell them, hey, I want X amount of money removed and transferred over to this other account. That's your savings. You won't even see that money at all. So you won't get a chance to touch it and be like, I don't think I want to transfer it this month. It'll be gone before you even get a chance to say that. And so that's a great opportunity. And also go to your banks. I know we have a financial advisor that's free to our customers. So I always tell people, it's like, your bank is there to serve you. If you trust them enough with your money, you should trust them to go ask them questions because they're literally there to help you. So just go into your bank and have a conversation with them. And if they're not willing to help you, then maybe look for another bank at that point, because they should always be willing to help you because they are literally holding your money right there. So that's my favorite thing to say. Do you have anything to add?
I do not. Just, if you like, Crystal did say, it's always good to go to your bank, because I do have, I encountered so many people that come to me like, well, I didn't know you guys had a savings account. You guys, I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I could. We're here. They're there to help you and assist you with any questions. So,
and that includes paying. That includes paying your bills. You can literally have your bills paid through your bank account instantly. Yeah, that's it.
thank you.